In the 15th century, Poland was the largest state in Europe, and it was the first to grow not by conquest, but by voluntary union with her neighbors, as with Lithuania in 1410. Before the present war, Poland was still the 6th largest European country. Warsaw, beautiful capital of Poland, where side by side stand old monuments of art and culture. Streets of modern buildings portray the progressive spirit of the nation. In the eastern part of Poland lay the largest virgin forest in all Europe, a dreamland for the hunter. Winter sports were immensely popular in the Tatra Mountains. About 60% of the population lived by farming. 9/10 of the land of Poland was owned by the small farmer in lots of 5 to 100 acres. The natural growth of the nation was the fastest in Europe, and were it not for the war, the population of Poland would have equaled Germany's before the end of this century. The people are deeply religious and have never known in their history any religious persecutions, being granted complete freedom of religious worship by a Charter of Liberties as early as 1574. On farming alone, Poland could not prosper, and therefore new industries were built. Towns of over 100,000 inhabitants were built within a few years, and more than 600 new articles were added annually to the country's industrial production. On the site of a tiny fishing village, the most modern European port, that of Gdynia, was built, the largest in the Baltic and the 9th largest in the world. This nation of 35 million needed peace, but situated between two giant neighbors, Germany and Russia, she was forced to make a great financial sacrifice for defense. Poland concluded non-aggression pacts with Russia and Germany and hoped that these agreements would be honored, but...
Und dies ist unser unbändiger Wille und unser niemals mehr abzuändernder Entschluss.
However, Hitler spending $40 billion on armaments made territorial demands on Poland.
No British government will submit to dictation from a foreign power as to its foreign policy.
British and French guarantees to Poland gave her a feeling of security. On September 1st, 1939, Adolf Hitler drew up a secret agreement with Russia and gave the order for attack. "5,000 planes crossed the Polish frontier, bombing open towns and villages, machine gunning fleeing women and children. In the first hour of the war, 430 towns were bombed and 2,000 bridges destroyed. The German fleet cut the Polish lifeline with their Western allies. Polish harbors were destroyed. Warsaw prepared for the attack, while the spearhead of 12 mechanized German armies rolled forward on a front of 1,800 miles, reaching the very gates of the capital. With the water supply gone and 200 fires raging unquenched, the city defended itself for 3 weeks. Villages and farms were burned. Cattle and crops were destroyed. The population deprived of food and left in utter misery and desolation. Forlorn and homeless, men, women, and children crammed the roads of Poland. And so came the surrender of Warsaw. The youth of the nation were marched into German captivity and forced labor. But Poland will never die. Under the leadership of Raczkiewicz, the President of the Republic, Hadrewski, President of the National Council, and General Sikorski, Commander-in-Chief, Poland carries on. In his historic speech in Paris, Hadrewski proclaimed undying faith in democracy and the resurrection of Poland. From every corner of the world, regardless of the dangers of the blockade, mine-infested seas, and attacks from the air, Polish volunteers flocked to France, where a new Polish army arose to maintain the struggle for freedom. A 100,000 men were in training for the day of liberation. Valiantly they fought in France and Norway, and even the crushing defeat of France did not break the Polish spirit. Winston Churchill welcomed his Polish allies, saying, "We look forward to the day when victory will crown our efforts, and we shall help to build a new and better Europe." Part of the Polish fleet dared the narrows of the North Sea, and now the banner of the White Eagle flies beside the Union Jack. A 140,000 tons of the Polish merchant navy is working for the common victory. The dramatic journey of a Polish submarine which reached England through minefields and rock-infested narrows without charts in spite of German vigilance will never be forgotten. The Polish Flying Corps in England has earned undying glory. The famous Squadron 303, with over 150 German planes to its credit, is a grim reminder of Polish determination to live and win. The Commander-in-Chief is decorating in Scotland Polish troops just returned from the Battle of Narvik in Norway. Foreign Secretary Eden greets his Polish allies in the desert of Africa. Having fought in Poland, in France and Norway, at sea and in the air over England, the Polish army is also fighting in Greece, Palestine, Libya, and Egypt. The future of Poland lies in her youth. In England, the more fortunate child refugees trained and learned to become worthy citizens of a free Poland, so that their fathers would not have died in vain. For their freedom, the Poles are fighting and dying abroad and at home to make Poland one, great, and free.